Life is a journey, and it starts with a cry. The cry of a newborn baby. It ends with moans, groans, or the contented sigh of an older man or woman who's led a fruitful life. Or it can end in running feet, a chase, a stab, searing pain, blood splattered on the sidewalk, the cold street receding away as a young life flitted away into nothingness. A life cut short. Humans are chasing humans and killing without thought or regard for the pains inflicted on unfamiliar people. Life can end well, or it may end in tragedy.
You know what? Crime in London, yeah, is actually getting even worse probably than I actually even thought it was now, to be fair. Like, even you think a couple of weeks ago, there's basically some songs that come out now as well, kind of even glorifying, like, members basically now they're just getting bad with it, like they're like boasting about it, like almost boasting about the crimes they're committing now. And then it's kind of getting a bit mad, like, do you think most people are just out for a good time, innit? And then you got kind of people that just want to purposely go out to look for certain people to do certain things, innit? Yeah. And you think, like, that's what I mean. I don't like going out, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I know that being in them certain situations, I'm going to get put in situations that I might not want to be in. And if I don't react a certain way, that's going to invoke a certain reaction. If I do act that same way that people would expect me to react, it's still going to, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still going to cause the same scenario to happen. And that can end up mean, like, me losing my life, basically. Like, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think, like, a party, for example, or like a motive out with my friends. Why am I thinking about potentially not coming home the next day? Yeah. Like, it's crazy. So me, I kind of just separate myself from that because it's just getting ridiculous now. Like, people are doing it for fun. The stereotype, right, is that the white kid, for example, is gonna get the better opportunities than the black kids, or we have to work harder for it, if that makes sense. It's like,
that's the reality.
Yeah, or like, you know, an interview, like, for example, I've been in situations where I know, for example, like, obviously I'm not gonna come up to them because they're my friend. I'm not gonna make them feel, because it's not their fault. But I've applied for a job. My friends applied for a job. They've got a white name, they're white. I've got a black name. It's clearly, my name is clearly a black name. So, and it's like, it makes you kind of think, it's like, oh, okay, we both go for the interview, but I know I have a bit more experience in that field. Why didn't I get the job? And I don't say that from a place of, like, jealousy, because obviously for my friends, I always wish the best for them. But when you kind of think about it, you know, if I was a white boy, would I have got that job?
I'm a very proud young mother, do you know what I mean? And, you know, for me, it's like a trophy in a way, because I'm very proud of my son. And I'm already kind of I've got great expectations for my grandchildren that will come hopefully in the next few years.
Soon.
No, yeah, I'm too young, too young. But then I'm proud of him. I'm very proud of him, and I just hope he continues to pursue his dreams. Just keep your eyes on the prize where you want to go, and we're backing you up. Well, if you still choose the wrong path, I'll still love you. I'll let you do your thing, but still be there for you. And then that's good. When you're ready, just
parents need to ask their kids the right questions. Asking the right questions, not just asking a whole bunch of questions. You can ask, how are you? I'm fine. What kind of a question is that?
20 years ago, I got married to the man of my dreams. And 2 years later, I was in the hospital, in labor, and anticipating the birth of my son. It was a complicated process. A short life. My son passed away 2 days after he was born. My life stopped briefly. I didn't know how to process my grief. I cried every night, and I prayed every night. Days passed. Time didn't wait for my grief, and I healed with the love of my husband and family. 3 months later, there was a miracle. I was pregnant again. This time, everything felt different. But I was hiding my fears. I smiled openly while I cried, and cringed inside, wondering if the new life growing inside me would live and survive. 9 months later, I welcome another son. He lives. He's kind and makes me laugh. He's energetic and loves life. I had 2 more children, a daughter and another son. My family means everything to me, but something is wrong. I've lived in London for over 15 years, and every time there's a young life wasted on the street, I remember the child I lost. Although my son died as a newborn baby, and in different circumstances, I relive the pain every time I read or watch the news of another senseless killing of young people on our street.
With the knife crime rates going on in London, like every time you turn on the news, you see a teenager, you automatically assume that's going to be something to do with knife. So I think it's understandable why my mother would feel very scared every time I go out for a long period of time, especially when it's at night.
So do you think your mom really loves you? Talk?
Yeah, she does.
Okay, can you expatiate more on that?
She loves me, but all the time that could be also a limiting factor, because that love could transmute into fear when it comes to knife crime in general.
But as a parent, you don't understand. You want to see through her point of view how she feels anytime you go out and every time there's a young black man killed or a young person dies suddenly. So would you be able to understand the love and the protection she feels towards you and your dad?
It would be interesting to see her point of view, but how would that help me as a child if that's just going to make me more worried about how my mom's always worried about me going out?
Okay, so you're worried that your mom is worried.
Exactly. It's going to cause the children who are at home safe to be worried about the parents' worry, if that makes sense. Please don't worry, mother. I understand why you would be, but that's all the more reason why you need to trust in the individual which you have raised, which I'd like to think is a very good individual.
There was a point he was involved in some sort of sports. That was in secondary school. And I noticed he used to be so passionate about it. All of a sudden, he didn't want to go anymore. And I'm thinking, but why don't you want to go? You're so passionate about this thing. Why do you want to go anymore? I just don't want to go anymore. I just don't want to go anymore. But something inside of me knew that was not right. That was his passion. Eventually, the more I asked, one day he broke down and he said that he was being bullied. So that's why he didn't want to be part of it anymore. And unfortunately, he didn't continue with that. It was already too much of a gap. If I'd known before, maybe we could have encouraged him to be part of it again. But one of the biggest challenges sometimes is helping him to hear my voice of love and knowing who he is, because I know who he is, rather than the comments that you'll be told outside. The comments that's really going to break him, the comments that's going to tear him down, not build him up. And I think we've had loads of conversations like that when he's heard something or he feels like everything is going wrong. There's no way for me. I'm like, no, there is. I believe in you. I know you're my child. I know there's better things for you.
I think there are disadvantages and setbacks and traps that other people have set out for me. But because of the confidence in my skin, I don't make it a factor. And I'm going into an interview, I don't act like a colour, I act like me.
Recently, like we lost someone that was close to the family. But one reason that she'll always stand up to me is because she was an elder white lady. I'm a young black boy. That narrative is very rare, unless it's direct family.
Yeah.
But she's never, ever, ever once ever made me feel like I was this big or that I was intimidating or that I was just this random. All the time checking how I was, give me a hug, just being something that I shouldn't be used to. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't, that kind of relationship, I'm not typically meant to be used to that. She should be the woman that's kind of crossing the street to get away from me, not coming my way on purpose. So she gave me the time of day. She kind of saw me for who I am, kind of got to understand me, gave me the time of day.
I would be lying if I said that I didn't feel any guilt or sadness every time I hear of the word teenager, knife crime, and black. Because now I automatically feel like this country isn't safe for me. Then again, I try to think rationally, thinking about how it's not the actual colour, it's just a crime. That always gives me a sense of reassurance, knowing that I can be different. I don't have to be another statistic. Just because of my colour doesn't mean I have to do a certain thing or act a certain way. Just because people might see me a certain way.
My eldest son is now 17. He's brilliant and hardworking. He had one of the best GCSE results in his school and is currently studying medicine at A-levels. He wants to be a doctor. Samuel wants to help and make our society a better place for everyone. But should I be afraid anytime he's out of the house? Or because of the color of his skin? Can I have hope that things will improve and that love may conquer hatred, racism, anger, and the ugliness inherent in the human soul. My son believes in a better society, a better world. RAFAEL Benedetti wants to see goodness in him. Faye Benedetti wants to champion the cause of women and family. These people are keen to see positive changes in our society. Maybe there is hope after all. I won't be afraid anymore. Hope, no matter how fleeting, is better than fear. Loving humans can be reality, while chasing humans could become a myth. I hope love wins. I want life to end well for our young people. Let's start from the beginning.